If you've ever asked yourself, why do some women win in life and you don't? Today I've got some answers for you because we're going to dive into the psychology behind why certain women win in life, career, love, relationships, everything. They just have it sorted out for some reason. And today we're going to dive deeper into it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alina and I help women step into their full feminine power. Thank you for joining me today. We have an exciting topic and I'm really happy you're here with me today because what I'm about to share with you might be quite life-changing for you. So I really hope that you stick till the end. The difference between winners and losers is that winners didn't choose the life of suffering, but losers chose that life. They keep identifying the narrative that they have to suffer in this life. If you want to win as a woman in relationships, in career, in any aspect of your life, you have to choose a happy life. You cannot identify yourself with suffering if you actually want to keep winning in your life. If you identify yourself with the thought that everything is hard, that I have to suffer because my parents suffered, because my grandma suffered, you will never win in life. You will not be getting opportunities. You will not be lucky because you just don't believe that. That's not a part of your identity. You have to identify with winning. You cannot identify with losing. You cannot identify with suffering because where there's suffering, there is no winning. A lot of the times being lucky, being a winner is all about your mentality. It's not really having the right cards. Sometimes you might have the worst cards, but because you believe you're lucky, because you believe you're the winner, you're the one winning. Everybody gets different cards in life, but it's up to you how to use them. It's up to you how to perceive those cards. Sometimes you might have the worst cards, but you are the one who believes that, you know what, even those cards that I'm dealt with, I can make it work. I can still win no matter what. And sometimes people get the best cards and they don't appreciate them and they cannot use them and they believe that they're losers and they lose anyway, even though they were dealt the best cards. They were raised in the best environments, they were given the best opportunities, but they still didn't make it work. They didn't seize the opportunity. They didn't use all of their resources, even though they had the best cards. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is that it's not really about the cards that you're dealt with, it's how you perceive them. It's the meaning that you attach to that experience that you have. I recently started reading this book that is called The Courage to be Disliked, and I really like the concept that is described in this book. It's this philosophical concept created by Alfred Adler, and he said that there is no such thing as trauma. He said that it's all about the meaning that you attach to your experiences that shapes your reality. And I thought that's so powerful because a lot of us still live in the trauma. We still live in the past and we think that, okay, if we were losing in the past, if our parents, if our grandparents, if our whole bloodline was losing, they were poor, they were not living the life that they wanted, you think that you will carry that experience with you. But Adler explores this new idea, new philosophy that actually it doesn't influence your reality, but it's all about your perception. It's how you think about that experience. It brings me back to the metaphor that I discussed in the beginning about the cards that you get. Sometimes you're dealt with maybe not the best cards, but again, that's all about how you see them. Because if you choose to identify with being a loser, that's what you're gonna get. But if you say, you know what, I got the cards, I mean, nothing I can change, but I'm a winner, that's what you keep getting in your life. Women who win in life, they don't romanticize suffering. They romanticize winning. They romanticize being lucky. They believe that being a winner is their birthright. They don't believe that they were born to suffer. And this is something I want you to remember. If you believe that you were born to suffer, that's what you're gonna attract into your life. The woman that wins in every aspect of her life, she doesn't think that way. Her identity is based on, I'm lucky, I will get through this no matter what. Things always work out for me no matter what. Everything works out for me in the best possible way. Opportunities are endless and always available for me. My resources are abundant and limitless. Let's say two women, they go through the same kind of breakup. One woman would start thinking, oh, I'm gonna die alone, I will never be able to find anyone else, I'm just gonna be miserable for the rest of my life. Another woman will see this experience and she will look at it and say, you know what, everything works out for me. Something else is coming that is better for me. This was supposed to happen. It is what it is. You see, this is the same experience, but the outlook on life, on the situation is very different. The first woman identifies the suffering. The second woman identifies with winning because she knows that no matter what's happening, she is the winner. She is the ultimate winner. Even when everything looks bad. Like, let's be honest, when things just don't work out, objectively. She still finds the courage within herself to believe that everything will work out for her because she believes that she is the winner. Again, the identity is so important. I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't take a day. It takes sometimes months, sometimes years. But the most important thing is that every single day you're working towards bettering your beliefs and adopting beliefs that are actually going to help you, not something that will create even a bigger distance between the life of your dreams and what you have. Another aspect that I noticed about women that win in life is that they have this ability to walk away from anything that doesn't serve them. They will not tolerate disrespect. They will not tolerate anything that makes them uncomfortable. They do not fear being alone. They do not fear losing somebody because they know that losing themselves is way more painful than losing somebody else. They know their energy, they love their energy, and they don't want to spend it on the people or situations or opportunities that don't align with it. They understand that the price that they pay for staying in the places where they're not respected, where they're not valued, is too high. It's too high. They will never stay in those environments because they realize that, you know what, I have this energy that is super precious. It's like a very expensive diamond. And the diamond doesn't stay in environments where it doesn't shine. You need to have the good lighting. You need to have the good environment. The diamond needs to be polished. It cannot be dirty. It cannot be toxic in there. The diamond only shines in good conditions. You have to have all of this light on it so that it is recognized, it is beautiful, and is shining as it should. So you should treat yourself like that diamond. A woman who wins in life, she really believes that her energy is important, it's precious, and she uses that energy wisely, and she's able to walk away from anything and anyone that doesn't serve her. Women that win, they always have strong emotional mastery. They always think about the desired outcome. They don't act on the impulse. They always think it through. They think twice or even more times before saying anything, before acting out, because they understand that there's consequences for every move they make. And I think it's so important to assess what are the options, how should I proceed before actually doing anything, because sometimes you act on something really impulsively, and something that I struggle with personally before and still do to this day because, well, it never ends, fortunately or unfortunately. There's always work to do all the time. That's why we live, we improve. But what I was getting at is that it is important to see all of the options in front of you. When you act out impulsively, you only have one choice, you only have one option. And most of the time, this option is not the most positive one. Sometimes you lose people, you lose opportunities just because you didn't think it through. And it's not worth it. Most of the time, it's not worth it. Because there's always a smarter way to do it where you actually win bigger. When I think about emotional mastery, I always think about poker game. I think today we're talking a lot about card games, games in general, because I think a lot of it comes from games, it comes from sport. So if you want to win, you have to adopt the principles that you use in gaming. That's why a lot of these things come to my mind, I think. But I want to explain it in a really nice and simple way so you actually start understanding what I mean. In poker, it is important to have this emotional regulation. If you want to win, you always think about the long game. You think about the long game, you don't show emotion. Why? Because then you're gonna just reveal all your cards. I'm not saying that no emotion is good, no, but you have to be able to regulate it if you want to win, because you need to assess, what do other players have? What do I have? And how might this game progress if I play this card right now? You have to be able to step back and assess the situation. This way, you increase your chances of winning. The same thing applies to life, and women who have this regulation of emotion, they're just way more powerful. If I knew this earlier, I probably wouldn't have burned so many bridges with people or opportunities just because I was just impulsively acting on my emotions. Because most of the time, it's really not worth it. I think we cannot end this video if we didn't talk about self-love. A woman who wins in life, she loves her energy, she loves her own company. And this is something that develops throughout your life and something that you have to invest in. I've always been saying that you always have to have a relationship with yourself, and you have to treat it in the way you would treat a real relationship, a love relationship. Because sometimes we pour into other people. We invest so much time into other relationships with other people, but we don't invest into the relationship with ourselves. And this is actually the relationship that is the single most important relationship in your life. life. When I think about enjoying your own company, I think about time where you can really focus on yourself without any distractions. So if you take yourself on a solo date, but you're on your phone for 3 hours, that's not a solo date, that's a date with your phone. I think one of the turning points for me on my self-love journey was actually living by myself. And I always say that if you have an opportunity, experience living by yourself. This is the experience that will get you a lot of answers about yourself. You will just learn so much about what you like, what you don't like, how you like your space arranged, what you like for dinner, how you like your things done, what you actually enjoy doing by yourself when nobody's watching, when nobody is looking at you, when you don't need to perform. Not at work, not in front of your parents, not in front of your friends. Who you are at your core, who you are without any masks. And I think this experience is just invaluable, and it's something that I'll cherish to this day, because I think that a woman should have this experience if she's able to, if it's safe, of course, as well. But it is something that I highly advise for single ladies out there that are still not married, that are still not in relationships, to try living by themselves, or even traveling solo. Another alternative is to go on vacation by yourself. This is something I've done for the last 10 years because I immigrated 10 years ago, and it's something that fortunately or unfortunately I had to do just because I moved by myself all the way from Europe to North America, and I've been going back and forth and traveling to other places. Solo traveling is something that really cultivates that self-love within you. You learn what you love and you learn how to give it to yourself. When you know how to love yourself, you are able to communicate it better with other people. You're able to dissect, is this person, is this opportunity giving me what I want? Or is it actually not enough? What do I want? What are my terms? What are my standards? These are all the things that you learn about yourself when you're spending time by yourself. You don't need to do anything grand. You don't have to travel solo or live by yourself if you don't have the means or if you're scared. You could also just spend time by yourself and journal your thoughts, or just sit in stillness, meditate, and think about your life, think about yourself, and learn things about yourself. This way, you'll be able to really enjoy your own company because you know yourself, you love your energy. A woman that wins in life, she knows herself really well, and she is able and willing to walk away from anything that doesn't serve her. She's not going to tolerate any bullshit because she knows that she can give herself what she wants, and she just enjoys her energy that is precious. If you want to win, you have to decide that you are a winner. And it can happen anytime, from today, from tomorrow. It can be sudden. As of now, I decide to be a winner in life. I decide to have the best opportunities. I will get what I want. You just have to start identifying those thoughts that are actually making your life better, that are not limiting you. And the best part is that change can be quite rapid. Sometimes it takes seconds to change your lives. A single thought, a single decision that now you're winning, you're the winner, might change your whole life. Thank you, ladies, for watching my video, and I hope to see you again very soon. By the way, if you have any suggestions on what I should record my videos on, I would love to welcome those in the comments. I'm really looking forward to your ideas because I really want to listen to you and what you want. And I hope to see you again very soon.